Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. On Wednesday, Italian authorities were investigating the cause of a horrific bus crash near Venice that killed at least 21 people, including 2 children. The Italian broadcasting network RAI reported that the 40-year-old bus driver, identified as Alberto Risotto, was among the dead while 18 others were also injured. Local fire services said they would consider whether the bus's battery may have caused the fire to spread more quickly after it overheated. A spokesperson for the prosecutor's office said video was recently delivered to investigators that may help determine if any other vehicles were involved in the incident or if the driver suffered a health issue. Venice Mayor Luigi Brugnaro told state media that the bus was traveling from Venice to nearby Marghera and was full of people returning home from work. Paris is battling an infestation of bed bugs as it prepares to host the 2024 Summer Olympics. The tiny pests were first reported in hotels and vacation rental apartments, but videos circulating recently on social media show them crawling around in movie theaters, on Paris's metro system, and even the airport. Local companies specializing in treating insect infestations say they've been overwhelmed in recent weeks. Paris City Hall is especially worried about the potential risk for visitors to the Olympic and Paralympic Games in the summer. Calling on the government to put together an action plan to address the problem, Deputy Mayor of Paris Emmanuel Gregoire said in a statement, quote, "Bedbugs are a public health issue and should be declared as such," end quote. The House is now contemplating its next speaker after they voted to oust previous House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on Tuesday. House Republicans are planning internal elections on October 11th to nominate a replacement for the former speaker. Possible successors include members of his leadership and top conservative allies. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise of Louisiana and Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan of Ohio have already announced they're running for the position. There have also been talks of other leaders, including Republican Study Committee Chairman Kevin Hern of Oklahoma, Rules Committee Chair Tom Cole of Oklahoma, Majority Whip Tom Emmer of Minnesota, and GOP Conference Chair Elise Stefanik of New York. Some are even pushing the idea of former President Donald Trump becoming the Speaker of the House. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia shared a clip on X explaining how a Speaker is elected into the House and how the Speaker doesn't have to be a member of Congress first. State gun laws are ramping up as a result of a Supreme Court ruling in June of last year. The ruling, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, overturned a New York gun law that required a person to have proper cause before they could receive a license to carry a concealed weapon in public. The Supreme Court said this law was unconstitutional because it infringed on the Second Amendment. The Supreme Court did say that some regulations were permissible, like bans of weapons in sensitive places. Colorado, Maryland, Connecticut, and California have already made steps in passing laws to add to the list of sensitive places, including school grounds, museums, healthcare facilities, parks, mass transit facilities, government buildings, stadiums, racetracks, amusement parks, casinos, and public demonstrations or gatherings. Gun laws in Massachusetts are some of the strictest in the nation and is currently debating making them even tougher. The new law would ban almost all types of guns and add new training requirements, including live fire training, mandates new safe storage laws, registration for all guns and feeding devices, reporting any modifications, and serializing all parts of the firearm. The new law would ban anyone under 21 from acquiring any semi-automatic weapon or shotgun. handgun, and anyone under 15 from participating in shooting sports or practice. It would also require employees of public carriers such as FedEx and UPS to be licensed to carry weapons. Lastly, it would ban carrying a gun, loaded or unloaded, on any private property unless given permission. Many critics find these laws and proposals to be an infringement on their Second Amendment rights, which states a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Steps to keep yourself and your family safe from ticks and the illnesses they can cause. Use EPA-approved tick repellents on your skin and clothes. Read and follow the directions. Wear light-colored clothing to make it easier to spot a crawling tick. Check for ticks on yourself, your kids, and your pets anytime you've been outdoors. Some tick bites can make you sick, but finding and removing a tick properly makes it less likely. Call your doctor if you start to feel ill or notice a rash near the bite. Play it safe when you're outdoors.
Welcome back. On September 24th, Braintree lost one of its finest citizens. Paul Agnew, aged 81, died suddenly. Paul was a performer, a singer to be more specific, and if you attended any event in town over the last couple of decades, you would have heard Paul's velvety voice. But Paul wasn't just a singer, he was a good guy, a genuinely good guy. He entered the room smiling, and when he left, everyone else was smiling because Paul made you feel good. Good about yourself, even if you didn't feel good when he walked in. Here at BCAM TV, Paul co-hosted the musical show Songbook for almost 20 years with John Capavella. Those of us who have been with BCAM for a while had the good fortune to work with Paul and John for Songbook for many years. We are all going to miss Paul, but we are all better off for having known him. Now in some town government news, the Braintree Town Council held their first meeting of the month on Tuesday to discuss a number of topics, including the approval of a new planning board member. Dave Storlazzi was the recommended choice by Mayor Charles Kokoris to take the last voting seat on the planning board. The Ways and Means Committee made their recommendation to the council that was not in favor of Storlazzi. The town council ended up voting for the Braintree resident and business owner in a 5-4 vote. There were some disagreements between council members on Storlazzi's appointment. Here's more from the meeting.
It's a bad situation he was put into, because I'm on the Charter Review Committee, and we had a meeting last week, and one of the things we were talking about is appointments by the mayor's office and the planning board and things like that. And I said then, before this agenda came out, I think the planning board is one of the most important boards, if not the important board. And I sit here on the council, I've sat on the school committee, especially with the future of what this town needs and where things are going to be going, and stuff that's going to be coming before the planning board, the master plan, all that. I just want to read a part of the charter too that stuck out to me, and this is section 3.3, which we've had a lot of votes on this, appointments by the mayor. All appointments and promotions made by the mayor shall be made on the basis of merit and fitness demonstrated by examination, past performance, or by other evidence of competency and suitability. And one of my questions was, like, what skills does he bring? And this is no slight to Dave. Dave's got an impressive resume, ran his own business, very, very much involved. I'm going to take Dave out of this because, again, I don't think it's fair the position he's been put in. But such an important, crucial role. And if and I believe this is the fulfillment of Erin Joyce's vacancy. Is that correct? On the planning board? The knowledge she brought, being an engineer, and the base in institutional knowledge, those are huge shoes to fill. And what we're being presented with is, in my opinion, I just cannot support this.
But I think what we're looking at is an appointment for the planning board. And the planning board has very specific and important and critical work to do. And I don't think that's where you create a learning curve when there's absolutely nothing in someone's background that would lend themselves to being on the planning board. In my conversation, what came through is that he he wants to help. He wants to make a contribution. And I think there are so many places in the town where his skills, running a business, taking care of all of those paperworks, where his skills would fit beautifully with some of the other needs of committees and commissions in town. And they just don't fit at all with the planning board. And so I am left to wonder, why are we skipping over the person who's currently in the alternate seat, who has been sitting there for 2 years, who brings with her 20 years of doing this exact work? She's been sitting on the planning board for 2 years, and she's not being considered to be moved up. And I don't understand that. And to be told it's the will of the mayor, okay, but why? What is that based on is something that I really need to know. I also would like to know, what is the impact of this? And when we pulled past minutes, some of them were nominated as an alternate, some of them it didn't say.
The qualifications that someone lived here for 3 generations doesn't cut it for me as a planning board member. Why are you, I mean, it's beyond rationale that you're going to put someone with no experience, and as other speakers have spoken about, what we have ahead of us is critically important to do. What's at stake for us? I'm an elected counselor. I represent the people in my district. And when I make a vote on this, I'm representing my residents. Precedents or not.
I appreciate the emotion that you're bringing to this, and I appreciate from the perspective that you bring why you are so, why you want this decision to go this way. I understand completely, and I'm not trying to refute anything you said. I was offering my own perspective, and if that didn't come across, then my apologies for that. In pointing to Ms. Crowhawk, and I brought that up, so I approved Ms. Crowhawk's appointment. There was a segment of the council at the time that attempted to stop her appointment. I voted for her. I believe there was some talk at the time that because she had represented developers, that she shouldn't be on the board, and I responded that that gave her eminent qualifications. We can't hold someone against someone that their day job might represent, a certain element. And as an attorney, I understood that. Here, I was just using that as point of perspective, that there has been precedents where an alternate was not elevated to the point of full board, because I believe at that time there was an alternate that was not elevated. That was the only perspective I was attempting to bring to that, because I think there was talk earlier in the comments that why are we jumping over someone? I was just showing that there was historical perspective where indeed someone was passed over. That is not to reflect negatively on anyone else. Again, I do agree. There is this is an important board, but I do believe that there is in every board the ability to have a person that is there to represent the residents. In any board that we have, whether it be this board or whether it be the school committee, which are elected positions, whether it be any board that's appointed, obviously zoning board as well, decisions, if the school committee makes an error in a human resource, if an elected school committee member speaks out of turn on a human resource issue, if we speak out of turn on a human resource issue, that can have legal implications that can affect the town for years to come. So any and all boards that anyone is elected or appointed to have the ability to negatively affect the town if a poor decision is made. So I am, again, supporting Mr. Storlazzi on the basis of an individual that is wanting to be involved, that has contributed to this community in many different ways, and I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to work to make correct decisions in this position if he is indeed appointed to it. And that is not a shot at anyone else on this board or anyone else elsewhere.
To watch the full meeting, you can catch it on BCAM TV's government channels, Comcast Channel 8 and Verizon Channel 26, or you can always watch it on youtube.com/BCAMTV. The town of Braintree is holding the season's first family flu clinic on Sunday, October 15th. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., you can head to the town's Cahill Auditorium to get your annual flu shot. The family clinic is first come, first served, and is offered to adults 18 years and older and students in grades 5 through 12. If you are planning on heading over to the flu clinic, make sure to bring your health insurance cards with you. Again, the family flu clinic is Sunday, October 15th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Braintree Town Hall. On Sunday, October 1st, the Chinese American Association, Mayor Charles Kokoros, and the Braintree Recreation Department held the town's first ever Mid-Autumn Festival. Also known as the Moon Festival or the Moon Cake Festival, it marks the time when the full moon is highest and brightest, coinciding with the autumn harvest. The event featured a variety of cultural activities and performances, including traditional lion and dragon dances and lantern-making workshops. The day also included sunrise balloon art, performances from youth groups, and traditional dances. To see more of the festival, you can watch it on BCAM TV's public channels, Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 28, or you can catch it on youtube.com/BCAMTV. The Eras Tour movie comes to theaters across the country in October, including a half dozen on the South Shore. Since pre-sales of the Swift concert on the big screen have been so popular, at least one theater will be offering midnight showings. AMC Braintree 10 will be allowed to show the 2-hour and 40-minute film at midnight and 12:30 a.m. on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from October 13th through November 5th. The theater's general manager, who petitioned the Braintree Board of License Commissioners for approval of these extended hours, said several showings are already sold out. The ticket prices are $19.89 for adults and $13.13 for seniors and children ages 2 to 12. These prices are set in honor of Taylor's birth year of 1989 and her lucky number 13. The mayor's office has lined up a number of autumn activities for 2023 in partnership with the Braintree Recreation Department. A few coming up include a block party on Sunday, October 15th from noon to 3 p.m. The mayor will be hosting the block party at Watson Park. Free hamburgers and hot dogs will be provided, and there will be free games and entertainment. Then on Friday, October 20th at 7 p.m., the Mayor and Recreation Department, in partnership with the Braintree Municipal Golf Course, will be hosting a Halloween movie night at the golf course at 101 Jefferson Street. This year's spooky movie will be The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is a free event and concessions will be available for purchase at the golf course's Lynx Cafe. The rain date for this event is Friday, October 27th. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Did you know your teenager's brain is more likely to get addicted to nicotine than yours? The tobacco and vaping industries do. They target teens with their products and try to cover up the fact that there's nicotine in them. Talk with your kids about the real dangers of vaping.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. In just a little over a week, bus shuttles will start replacing subway service on the Ashmont Branch and Mattapan line. According to MBTA announcements, a 16-day full access closure will take place from Saturday, October 14th through Sunday, October 29th. The 16-day closure is to expedite critical track work on some of the subway's oldest stretch of track. For those who ride the MBTA's Red Line, keep in mind that the Ashmont branch between JFK UMass and Ashmont will be closed, and the Mattapan line between Ashmont and Mattapan will be closed. Shuttle bus services will be provided free of charge for the duration of the closure. Head to mbta.com for more information. On Tuesday, MBTA officials announced that since expanded MBTA ferry services have proven so positive in recent months, the agency will keep a trio of routes running into the fall, including the one that stops in Quincy. The Winthrop Ferry, which stops in Quincy, and an all-week East Boston ferry will keep running until November 30th. Winthrop's ferry only operates on weekdays between Winthrop Landing, Quincy, and Boston Central Wharf. One-way fares will be available for $6.50. Policymakers have been pushing the T to expand its ferry options, pitching the water routes as good options to connect residents in coastal communities north and south of Boston without adding to the region's crushing road traffic and ongoing subway closures. On Monday, a former Quincy resident was sentenced in connection to online fraud schemes, including romance scams where at least 30 victims lost more than $1.3 million. The U.S. Attorney General's office announced that 40-year-old Kelechi Collins Ume of Boston was sentenced to 40 months in prison and 2 years of supervised lease. He pleaded guilty to 1 count of bank fraud conspiracy in January, but practiced in a series of online scams. Romance scams involve a fake online identity to gain a victim's affection and trust. The scammer then uses the illusion of a romantic or close relationship to steal from the victim. More than 24 food trucks and several musical acts will gather this Saturday, October 7th, for Quincy's annual Food Truck and Music Festival. The event will run from noon to 6 p.m. along Coddington Street near the Thomas Crane Public Library and Quincy High School. Food truck offerings will span the globe as there will be a variety of trucks that cover every taste and flavor. Along with food trucks, a number of artists and bands will perform sets live throughout the entirety of the festival. Families are encouraged to bring blankets and chairs. The festival is sponsored by the City of Quincy, and for more information, you can head to discoverquincy.com. Get ready to pay a little more for your favorite Samoas, Thin Mints, and peanut butter patties. In an extension of the ongoing effects of inflation, Girl Scout cookie prices are going up in Massachusetts as well as other parts of the country. According to the Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts, starting on November 20th, the cost of a package of cookies is increasing to $6 in the Boston area. The last time Girl Scout cookie prices went up in the area was in 2015. Some cookies like s'mores and Toffee-tastic were already priced at $6, but now the higher price will apply to other cookies that the troops sell, including the more classic varieties. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Hi, I'm State Representative Bruce Ayers, and I'd like to introduce you to the Helping Hand program. With rising healthcare costs, all too often we hear stories about our seniors, veterans, and neighbors who may not have the proper insurance coverage they need for durable medical equipment. These individuals may be living on a fixed income and may not have the financial resources necessary to cover the costs of the equipment they need. We have a solution. The Helping Hand program provides free, durable medical equipment to residents in need. Items such as wheelchairs, walkers, crutches, canes, commodes, tub seats, and hospital beds are available through the program. We receive donations of lightly used equipment and store them at our facility in North Quincy. If you're in need of any of these items, you can pick them up free of charge and return them after any length of time.
My scooters improve my mobility and independence. Thanks to Helping Hand, I can go to the store, visit the boardwalk, and do so much more.
Helping Hand is a great resource for people who don't have insurance coverage.
The Helping Hand program is successful thanks to the generosity of people who have donated durable medical equipment to our inventory. For more information about the program or to fill out an equipment request form, visit our website or call 617-472-9877. If you know someone in need of these items, we're always available to lend a helping hand.
Welcome back to Braintree today. Halloween is almost here, and that means it's time to bust out your favorite fluffy blanket and turn on a spooky film. In honor of spooky season, we have 3 movie recommendations for you to watch. First in entertainment, Trick or Treat focuses on the residents of a small town who face real ghosts and goblins on Halloween. Tales of terror reveal the consequences of extinguishing a jack-o'-lantern before midnight and a grumpy hermit's encounter with a sinister trick-or-treater. The film stars Quinn Lord and Anna Paquin. You can watch Trick or Treat now on Amazon Prime Video. Next up in entertainment, Hubby Halloween focuses on Hubby Dubois, who despite his devotion to his hometown of Salem, Massachusetts, and its legendary Halloween celebration, is a figure of mockery for kids and adults alike. But this year, something really is going to bump in the night, and it's up to Hubby to save Halloween. The film stars Adam Sandler, and you can watch Hubby Halloween now only on Netflix. Finally, in entertainment, The Curse of Bridge Hollow follows a man and his daughter who must team up to save their town after an ancient and mischievous spirit causes Halloween decorations to come to life and wreak havoc. The film stars Marlon Wayans and Priya Ferguson. You can watch The Curse of Bridge Hollow now only on Netflix. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you are a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.